Hello and welcome to Althea Suite. Today we're going to take a look at creating user roles and assigning those user roles to our employees. Now the first thing we'll do is come to our employees module, and then we'll go to our actual employee profile. Now for each employee here, if I come in and modify, for every employee that has a login, which is noted with this blue checkbox here, they will have a login ID, a password, and then a user role assigned to them. Here I can change the user role, I can remove the user role, I can remove the login, but if they have a login and will be actually accessing Althea Suite, they will need to be assigned a user role. Now, to actually create these user roles, we'll come down to our user roles tab, right under our time in, time out, and employees tabs. And this is where we will see every user role that we have created. Now, to create a new one, I will come in and select new from the upper left-hand corner here. And the first thing I'll need to do is give this user role a name. Now, this can be done by job type, job description. So something like a sales user role, inventory, warehouse, delivery, office admin, whatever it may be. You can set up the user role based on that job description or job type. You can also set up user roles for specific employees. So if there is a employee that may have or need unique access rights that wouldn't apply to anyone else, you could just create an individual user role for them as well. Now, the way this will work is, as we can see here, by default, the user role will have access to everything in the system. If I click into this plus button here, it will give me a breakdown of the different modules and allow me to select whether or not this user role will or will not have access to that module. Now, when I click in with the green check mark, that will turn to a red X, notifying that I do not have access or this user role will not have access to that module or feature. Now, this is a very zoomed out view. We can get much more granular, much more specific on what exactly we want them to be able to do and not be able to do. So as an example, we'll come into our sales. I'm going to expand this. I'm going to come to my sales invoices and expand that as well. So I could remove the entire sales module and they wouldn't have any access, or I could come in and specifically note what I want them to have access to, what I want them to be able to do, and what I don't want them to be able to do. So from here, I could say that I want them to be able to view invoices, but not create invoices. I want them to be able to pick invoices, but not force pick invoices. I want them to be able to assign delivery slots, but not change delivery slots. So that just gives you a brief look at how you can set up and create these user roles to adjust the environment that that employee or that group of employees will see. Now, as you may notice, this can, as I mentioned, get very specific. So you can come in and go through each of these and decide what it is exactly within that module that they will need or will not need access to. Then the second portion of setting up our user roles is the start page. So by default, Althea Suite will set the dashboard as our start page. And just as a reminder, that dashboard has your totals, information on your sales, purchasing, collection, and orders. Now, if we don't want our employees to have access to that dashboard, we can select a different start page for them to see when they log in. So we could have our sales team come directly to our invoices, our service tech directly to services, and so on. We can also simply remove the start page, and then they will come into a screen where they will simply select the module they want to go to begin their work. So that is a brief overview on the user roles in Althea Suite. Thank you so much for watching, and we appreciate your interest.